Yes! I have no idea where I am right now. It's like upside down. Okay, you guys have been here for almost 2 hours sitting there. So let's get up. Everyone get up. Come on, stand up. Now, I know this is Australia, and basically you all know each other. But I want you to meet someone you don't know. Just shake their hand and say a few things about... All right, that's good. That's good. Not the whole life story. Just hi, how's it going? Just a hi, how's it going? Really? Honestly? Okay. You guys are so friendly here in Australia. I love it. And you're even like friendly to each other. In America, we're like, I hate you more. All right. Are you guys ready to get all social media? Yeah, let's go. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Not really. Because I'm old, right? I didn't grow up with it. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to ask is that how many people here are rocking the iPhone? One version of iPhone, okay? And how many people here are on the Androids? Oh, nice. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, so I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about a lot of things. It's going to go really, really fast, and I don't want you to panic because I never talk down to my audiences. I don't care if you don't. How many people not on Facebook? Okay, good. No, it's totally fine. Totally fine. Totally fine. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm not on Facebook because of the privacy. I don't want to talk about it. Okay? I don't want to talk about it. I had one guy got so upset in a meeting. He's like, I'm out of here. He's like, you're talking about Facebook. So let's just quickly, a little bit, you guys don't know who I am, and when you have World Rugby come up and we're at a sports conference, you guys already know all that sort of stuff. When you have the head guy from Nike Golf come up here, you sort of know what's going on, but you're like, who's this guy, and why should I listen to this guy? Who is he? So we were recognized one of the top 10 most innovative companies in media. Awesome. We basically can pick up the phone and call any one of these platforms. We're inside the media and entertainment department inside Palo Alto in Facebook. So we can pick up, we deal with a lot of celebrities, so that's pretty awesome. Snapchat is actually down the street from us in Santa Monica. They don't want to talk to us either, don't worry. We have HQ in Los Angeles. We have people in New York and actually a large office in Canada. And as well in people in London. And we're opening an office here in Sydney. I'm actually going to look at co-working spaces tomorrow because we have to be 24/7. So we thought, we'll just do Asia out of Sydney. Is that a good idea? No? Okay. Thanks for the feedback. And then we work with companies all around the world. So, we did part of the global strategy for the BBC. We work with, big celebrities, blah, blah, blah. But we also do a lot in sports. So we helped Arsenal, which at the time had 35 million Facebook fans, helped them clean that up. We're currently working with Colorado Rapids. We just did a massive project with CBS Interactive in America. Around the NCAA and all the schools, all the colleges and universities, which is awesome. We've also done a bunch of work here in Australia with Southern Cross Stereo. We did a bunch of radio stations here a couple years ago. So we're pretty familiar with the market, and it's awesome. I mean, you guys are a lot of fun. I'm just going to keep saying awesome because I know that everybody hates that. I can't stop myself. So essentially, we don't believe that social media should be used for marketing. Remain calm. It's okay. I really believe, and we try and stay ahead of this, is that I just noticed that there was a lot of people coming to talk to me about social media, and they were like, well, I want to run this campaign, like in conjunction with our TV and our newspaper, and, I'm like, it's not really used for that. No, but that's what I want to do, because they're like 50 plus, and they don't, that's what they want. They're like, I just want it to be the same as the old stuff, right? And it's not. It's completely different, because it's about conversation. It's all about conversation. So we at Jumpwire, in the beginning of the year, doubled down into conversation. I'm not saying that you can't use social media for marketing. Totally fine. But for us, we just focus on managing communities and conversation. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking to you today about is about that. The other thing, too, is that there's a slide at the end that you can take a picture of this, and you can download it from our site, and I think Ben's also going to have it available, so you don't need to take a lot of notes, but if you want to take pictures, go for it, and if you have to be on your phone and do stuff, don't worry about that, too. But it's going to go fast, okay? So this is what we released last Wednesday, the U.S. College Athletics Social Media Ranking. We basically were working with all of the colleges, and we said, I wonder what happens on the field if it translates to social media. So we released this index. You can take a look at it on our site, and we use something called the Learfield. So in America, there's something called the Learfield Directors Cup, where all the colleges are a part of it, and it ranks them. And then we just basically did the ranking beside it. We're also a social media ranking, and we ranked it on 6 different things, like audience, the number of fans, engagement, activity, amplification, how much sharing was going on, applause, your likes, and then conversation. We looked at 6 key platforms, and it was really interesting. We just pushed it out, and we're getting lots of traction around it, but we're looking at doing it also for like NFL, NBA. We're looking at doing some of the rugby here as well, too. We just think it's a great way to look at how social media is impacting what happens on the field. So as I said, we're moving away from the interruption economy to the conversation economy. And what this means is that, we used to watch stuff on TV and we were interrupted to watch ads, right? There's an ad, and then we move back to where we're going. Now we're moving to this conversation economy where things are moving in real time. And you can really see this here when you look at Twitter, Facebook, and Google, all with their buy buttons now part of social media, right? This is a big deal. This is where you guys are going to start to make a lot of your money, right? Is that someone sees tickets for the Rugby World Cup, they can buy them right away, right? That's important. But I also want to look at why we focus on Facebook. And a lot of people are going to say, well, Facebook, no one uses Facebook. Actually, wrong. Everybody uses Facebook, right? And even these 14-year-old girls and boys your kids, most likely, they're using Facebook as well, too. A lot. They're using something called Facebook Messenger, how many people are using Facebook Messenger? Yeah, wow, great, awesome. Ooh, I didn't expect that. I expected one guy in the back. Have you guys used the HD voice? Have you made calls on Messenger? Isn't it amazing? It's like, for me as an old person, it's like using phones from the olden days. You're like, I can hear you. I can actually hear you. I can hear what you're saying, right? So if you haven't tried HD voice on Messenger, definitely try it. But here's what's interesting. Facebook is like 1.5 billion users. The next one is Tumblr. How many of you guys are using Tumblr as part of your marketing strategy? Anybody? Yeah, really hard to use. Then you got Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat filling out those. So we have a strategy when we talk to a client for the first time. It's like Facebook first, but not Facebook only. The other thing is the number of global social media users is to reach 2.5 billion. So, these are just big numbers, but it's starting to become a deal. I don't walk into many offices anymore with a CEO with a BlackBerry, and he says social media is a fad. That used to happen about 3 or 4 years ago. 90% of adults aged 18 to 29 in America use social media, right? No brainer, but still understand 90%. So they all know what it is, they're using it. There is a little bit of this rejection coming up, right? We're starting to see that they're only on Snapchat. They don't really use anything else. They'll go and check in on Facebook, but they won't use Vine, or some of them use Twitter. So I even see that in my staff who are all millennials. And then, obviously, we're going to talk about Pokemon Go. How many people are here playing? Yes! I grabbed a pebble at the back there, so I win. All the guys I'm here with are just like Murray and John. They're just like, you're a total idiot. I'm like, yeah, I know. But what's interesting here around Pokemon Go is the amount of time that people are spending playing with it and what it's doing for kids. The big thing that they've noticed in the last couple of weeks since it's exploded is that kids are actually getting up and leaving the house. Right? They're actually running around and going with their parents, as probably some of you are doing with your kids, and they're like, Dad, I want to go walk around, or Mom, I want to go and do this stuff. I don't have kids. I have 7 nieces and nephews, and they're all playing it. But what's interesting is how much time people are spending on Facebook and then on Snapchat. Pokemon Go, in a week, has changed everything. Right? And with the way that you can go and create retail environments, I'm not going to talk a lot about Pokemon Go right now, but I would highly recommend you look at it. Also, the interesting thing is by age group is network usage. Oh, you're right, kids aren't on Facebook. But 47% of their time at age 13 they're spending on Facebook, and then they're on Instagram, and then Snapchat. It starts to fall off on Twitter, but still a big deal. 14 to 17, 63% on Facebook, and 48%. So this is from a big YouTube study that came out about YouTubers. Now let's get into the real stuff you hear about social media. So we're actually pushing this whole idea around reach. So video engagement on Facebook, if you're not using video live or you're not using video on Facebook, you're really missing a trick. It is huge. I see a lot of people nodding their heads. I mean, we have a lot of clients that have over 1 million fans. We do a live thing, and it's unbelievable engagement. The other thing that I want to tell you about is it's called the measuring the news feed dwell time. So the amount of time that you are actually scrolling through your news feed. Actually, one of the biggest shifts that's happened in sort of human evolution is this idea we've moved from the 90s where we all went somewhere, we all went to Google you Googled something and you went to a destination, to the fact that we're sitting in front of algorithms now, right? And these algorithms are selecting what we're seeing. So the other thing that Facebook is measuring is they measure the amount of time, the speed at which the news feed is moving in front of you. So you don't actually have to click on anything for them to be getting a lot of data. If you slow the speed down and watch a little bit of a video, that's why the first 3 seconds of a video is becoming so important on Facebook. And you can't just take stuff from TV where it's a beautiful opening and it's all gorgeous and everyone's, they're asleep, they're gone, right? You have to get right to the point right away. And again, as I was saying, Facebook's not a website, right? And this is a big shift. Most of you, I think, know that. It's an algorithm, and that number changes. So if you have like 1,000 fans, if you put up a post, about 12% of your fans will see each post if you have a Facebook page. That's just it, and that's video's higher. So that's the numbers that we play around with a lot. But who controls your Facebook feed? This is a great article. And how does it work? So there's over 100,000 factors that they're using. So they look at the news feed visibility, the interest, the post, the creator, the type. Was the creator a friend? What type of post was it? Was it just a status update? Was it recency? How quickly was it done? And sometimes things are popping up in your feed, and you're seeing all sorts of interesting things like non-chronological data, right? You go away for 3 or 4 days, you come back, and your friend who posted something 4 days ago, it's at the top of your feed, right? So it's really important for you to understand that as you have a Facebook page as well too, because brands are getting crushed right now. I'm going to give you some best practices as well in a minute to help get by that. So this guy, Jan Likan, as soon as I heard that he had been hired by Facebook, I'm like, oh, snap, right? I'm like, this guy. Oh yeah. So AI right now is the same size, same age as a 4-year-old. And people generally is cackle, 4-year-old. And then mostly when I'm talking to older people who have 4-year-olds, they're like, that kid basically takes everything I own all the time and I don't even know it's happening, right? Like my 4-year-old niece, she can get anything out of me. And this is what AI is right now. So what it means is that they're starting to make decisions that are computer related. And we're seeing a lot of that. So it's based on so much stuff. And the AI is getting so good that you're starting to see things that are pretty relevant. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my Facebook feed in America is pretty awesome. Like I'm starting to see a lot of great stuff that comes up in my feed around my friends, but also around news articles and things that are coming from that. Now what's happening right now, as you guys probably heard, they've whitelisted a bunch like Huffington Post and CNN and CBS. If you use those in your Facebook feeds, they get no reach. However, if you go to a blog that is not associated with any of those URLs, then you can get a ton of reach. And the reason is they basically walked over to these guys at CNN and Huffington Post and said, you guys are like $100 million companies, you should be paying to be on the platform. So that's why we're telling a lot of our clients is try not to use a lot of the big news people, because what right now, or the news platforms, is because they're asking right now for a lot of money from these companies and they're giving them no reach. So we use other blog posts. All right, are you ready for some best practices? Yes, we are. Stand by, it's going to be amazing. Okay. 60 posts a day is now the maximum number of posts in a 24-hour period. So what you need to know is that many of our clients, about 2 years ago, we were saying you can post as much as you want on Facebook. 4 years ago, when everyone was like, I'll post once a day on Facebook because I don't want to overwhelm my people that are following me. Total crap, right? It's running, what did I just say? It's running an algorithm, so the algorithm is not going to, and so what we tell here is that, but that has changed. So we had a couple of newspapers that were posting up to 120 times a day on Facebook. And now we're noticing that if you post more than 60 times a day, your reach gets crushed. Most of the time, we're telling people you should be posting once every hour if you're a big brand, so 24 times a day, or once every 2 hours, 12 times. We used to actually take an image, upload the image, and once you had uploaded that image, we would add the link to it, because we were trying to be like a real person. So as a brand, the more you can be like a real person on Facebook, the more reach you will get. So we used to go and take the photo, put it up on Facebook, and then when it was up on Facebook, we would add the link to it, and we got lots of reach. Well, Facebook figured this out, and they've killed that. So now taking just URLs and putting them in works as well, and probably better. Reach is influenced by the number of fans a page has. You can see here that if you have less than 1,000 likes, you're going to get 22% reach. However, if you have more than 1 million likes, 2.27. And this bears out from our research as well, too. So don't be surprised if I say a few numbers and you're like, well, I have 1 million fans and I'm not getting 12%. It's mostly because they're now starting to regulate how many fans you have. They want you to pay more. What's the best time of day to post? 1 p.m. is going to get you the most shares, 3 p.m. to get the most clicks. And then a broader suggestion of any time between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. Yeah, that's great, guys. That's almost the entire day. But we have noticed, and we've started playing around with this, and it's not in my deck, but I'm going to tell you, it's a secret Easter egg, is that in the morning, we will post something at 6 a.m., and then we will also post it again at 12 midnight. So a 12-hour span between the same post reaches different people, and we see different reach. So don't be afraid to duplicate posts. It does work, and Facebook doesn't penalize you for it. We think the number's about 8 hours that you need to be different. Uploading directly from mobile, iPad is not mobile. It leads to better organic reach. Again, if you are able to mimic being a real person, so do not use stock. Facebook scans all the stock photography places, and you put that up. They have now Content ID. They scan it. This is from a stock photography place. You paid for this. It's not real. Therefore, we're going to drop your reach. So try and use as many original photos as you can. Have them taken on an iPhone or an Android or whatever, because it will be stamped with a mobile. Try and upload directly from the mobile device. So we use Facebook pages and directly upload and create content from the device. The reason is that Facebook thinks that it's a real person coming in through the algorithm. Even though it's coming from a page, they think it's someone doing a live broadcast or a live post, so that's important. You need to spend money with Facebook. We found it's about $500 a month is the lowest you can go. You need to pay them a little bit and you'll get more organic reach. We also did not used to recommend boosted posts. We now are recommending boosted posts. I'm not sure if it's turned on here in Australia, but now they have custom audiences. Does anyone know? Is there any Facebook specialists here? Are there Facebook specialists here? Yeah, they're probably all asleep. They're like, yeah, I'm so bored right now. Anyway, they have something called a custom audience, and now you can really target around boosting posts. It used to just be boost the post and you got reach. Now I can target that audience. The other thing that we noticed, we were doing a presentation to CBS, and we noticed that when they were using emojis, they got more reach. So definitely use emojis in your comments, and actually use it in your copy. There's something about Facebook when they scan it and see an emoji, they think, again, it's a real person. This came from the BuzzSumo scenario. If you're posting images to Facebook via Instagram, provide a 23% engagement in reach. So if you have an Instagram associated with your brand, tie it to your Facebook brand, post to Instagram, and then drive it to Facebook. Facebook is rewarding people who are using Instagram tied with their Facebook page. It wasn't always the way, but you're seeing 23% lift. Here's a pro tip. So when we go in to work with a client, they're like, oh my God, you guys are so good at what you do. How do you do it? And I'm like, I can't tell you, that's proprietary. However, I'm going to tell you, because I like you, and I like your country, and it's great to be here, and Ben's so great. Basically what we do is we go into a brand, and we look back 3 months, and my team basically sits down and goes through and likes every comment and responds to every comment, and the engagement triples. And the people look at us and like, God, these guys at Jumpmeyer really know what's going on. It's amazing. But it's not amazing. It's just that we find so much of the people's, people spend a lot of time just putting up content and waiting for things to happen. You have to engage the community. It's like being a gardener. The other thing is, too, is that we're noticing 4x3, so I'm old again. This 16:9 does not work very well on Facebook. It is better to use square video. So going from Instagram to Facebook, we're noticing a lot more reach when you have square video. The reason is people are watching it on video. If you tried to watch the rectangles on your phone, it's not good. Avoid putting YouTube links. So as you know, Facebook and YouTube are at war, and it's not pretty. It's not a pretty war at all. Facebook is going after YouTube, and quite frankly, they're crushing them, and YouTube doesn't care. Because YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the web, and that's all they care about. They don't really care about their creator. Well, that's not true. Are there reporters here? Yeah, at the back, great. Okay, I didn't say that. They do care about their creators, but right now what they're struggling with is if you have a YouTube channel, you're noticing you're not getting a lot of engagement, whereas you put something up on Facebook, it goes through off the charts. So we spend a lot of time saying YouTube is your repository, is where you store everything and where people can find it and you can use links. Facebook is where you go to get engagement. Now, Facebook Live. How many people are using Facebook Live at least weekly with their brand? One guy. Talk to that guy afterwards. He knows what's going on. If you're not using Facebook Live on your brand right away, and people are like, well, I don't really know what I would say, and I don't know, like, what do we do? Do anything, honestly. But you must go live for more than 15 minutes. Actually, I would also say, try and go live for 30 minutes. The best is when you start getting up to about an hour. And that's just live. And what happens is the comments are coming in because it's like Periscope, if you remember Periscope. But the reach is incredible. We've got a couple of celebrities who fought me tooth and nail, literally for about a month, saying, no, I'm just going to keep doing it on YouTube. I know I'm not getting as many views as I could. And then he went to Facebook and he's like, Gavin, I had 4,000 people engage with me yesterday. I'm like, yeah, that seems pretty good. The next week it was 10,000. The week after that it was 40,000. And this week was 100,000. That's how big Facebook Live is, mostly because of this global live Facebook map. So if you haven't checked this out, definitely check it out. You can see what's happening around the world. There's a lot of people experimenting, and it's sort of a comedy show. I saw some pastor in America. I want to tell the Lord. I'm just like, it was getting crazy, and things were flying all over the place. It's funny. The other thing, too, is 360 photos and video on Facebook is starting to, we don't understand. I don't think there's anyone from Facebook here, but we're trying to understand the data around this. So we're trying to understand 360 video is, we're seeing a rise in engagement. They're definitely selecting for it. But what we don't understand is like the data related to it. How do I know where people are looking in the photo? With the photo, I know that what they're looking at. But here, so we're trying to work with Facebook to get that data. They don't have it yet. The rise of vertical video. If you're not shooting in vertical, this is a big deal. Right? Right now in America, it's all about that. Vertical video for Snapchat. It's starting to see it. We think something's going to be coming with Facebook with vertical video, with Twitter and the rest of them. So we're saying Square right now, Square for sure. That covers off all your bases if you're trying to be efficient. But for the most part, you want to be shooting vertical video. Here as well in Australia, I believe this is live. It's called the Rights Manager. So if you manage a lot of content, you should absolutely be applying and being on this. This is exactly like YouTube's Content ID, which means that when you put content up that is your content and you own it, anyone else who puts up the same content and you don't authorize them to use it, it's pulled down immediately. This is huge for Facebook because, as you know, freebooting, which is putting up content that's not yours, as soon as Facebook did video, people freebooted like crazy. Right? That's all changed. We've had 3 or 4 clients who've been warned, and we don't freeboot anymore for any of our clients because they give you 2 warnings and then they shut down your page. And trust me, we have into Facebook, and it's extremely hard to get those pages back. So you guys are in the sports departments mostly, so I thought I would just give you through a few things, the recommendations around what's good for sports teams. Increase your Facebook posting to a minimum of 12 posts per day. Increase Instagram posting to 3 posts per day, morning, lunch, and evening. We've actually seen some late night posting working well on Instagram. Instagram is now also running an algorithm. So you're starting to see that the top 6 posts on Instagram are things that are from your friends or they're organized. It's very interesting, their algorithm. We're still trying to figure it out, but it is running. Twitter is doing the same thing. So all these companies are running these algorithms. Post consistently throughout the week on all social platforms, not just on game day. The best day for engagement across all platforms is Sunday. This is pretty much across all of our clients. Sunday is a big day for engagement on Facebook. Later, a little bit better in the time zone that you want to hit. Increase total number of videos per day on Facebook and Instagram. Get as many up as you can do. Whether you have to find old stuff, just put up anything. Increase total number of videos per day on. Yeah, I did that one, Gavin. Yeah, okay, I'm on it. I'm jet lagged. I'm okay. I'm fine. Good. I'm just gonna go over here. How's everyone doing? Great. Okay, good. I'm here all week. Tell your friends. Okay. Increase total number of videos per day. Did that one. Use dedicated community management team to keep posting consistent and keep response time less than 2 hours. Shameless plug for JumpWire. Verify Instagram account. This increases your reach. So if you can get to Instagram, get verified. And then post more photos and videos on both Facebook and Instagram. Sort of the same as 4, but you get the idea. Anyone here running Facebook Stadium? Anyone? So Facebook Stadium has just been launched in America. It's been around for about a year. I think it's coming to definitely for Australia. I know that you guys are a sports mad nation because in my hotel room, when I first arrived here, there's 10 channels, 6 of them are sport. I'm like, what? What just happened? They would all be reality TV with the Kardashians in America, but you guys are so into sport, it's awesome. So basically what Facebook Stadium is that you get a page, your page is put together, and essentially all the content related to the game is in one place. It happens in real time. So they're pulling all this stuff from all over the place. If you're putting up content so if it's Broncos versus the Rabbitohs, you would be able to go to this one place, have conversations around this with your stuff. It works really well. And it's still in its infancy, so you can posts from your friends and their comments on plays, so you can be having this joint idea of gaming, posts and commentary from experts and teams, live scores and stats, play-by-play, game info, and where to find it on TV. What does it look like? Sort of like this. I don't know what you guys can see, but you can see that you can see the actual logo, and you can see the game and the score and everything that's going on underneath it. The big thing that if it is here in Australia, which I Googled it, but I wasn't really 100% sure. I should ask the Facebook guys if I was really good at my job. The thing that you do is that you want to make sure your logo is the right size. We've had to correct a lot of the NCAA guys who are using different logos, and Facebook scans for the logo and finds anything related to that. Remember, Facebook, anything you put on Facebook, anything you do on Facebook is being scanned, all of it, and they're taking all that data and pushing it together. Let's just talk a little bit about Snapchat. I know I said Facebook. I just went a little off on you. This guy was talking, and he was crazy. Snapchat data issues. So we are noticing something. How many people on Snapchat have a Snapchat brand? Have claimed their brand? Yeah, okay, not many. People are sort of like, yeah, Snapchat. You need to be on it. It is growing so fast. You've got to claim your brand, so that we've had to fix so many brands that didn't claim theirs. You would not believe how many colleges and universities who are the demographic in America did not claim their Snapchat brands. So please go and claim your brand. If you never use it, that's totally fine, but do it. And make sure you don't get some young kid in your organization that you end up firing a month later to do it, which we've had to go back and try and reset passwords. Give it to the CEO so he can lose it. The other thing we noticed around Snapchat data is that when you swipe past a story, it actually registers as a view. This is an issue, right? So your first stories are going to have lots of views, but the ones in may not. And we've been talking to Snapchat about it. I will tell you this about Snapchat. We've got some very big clients who are working with them, and they are literally sending Excel spreadsheets of data. Can you believe it? So that's how far Snapchat is back. They're working right now on their ad platform. We are using something called Snapalytics. You may want to try it out if you've got a Snapchat running. It's not bad. It's okay. It's $179 US a month, which is like $300 here, I guess. And the issue, it gives you like completion rates. You can see at the bottom there how long people look through the story. I would say it was in our R&D department because everything that I tell you has gone through our R&D guys, and basically we test everything for 90 days and make sure it's bulletproof before we show it to our clients. We've tested this. I'm on the fence. I don't know if the data is worth it, but you might want to try it for 1 month. They have a 2-week trial. Just try it out if you're running Snapchat. Okay, and as we wind down here, I want to talk about the bots. Right? They're taking over everything. So Facebook Messenger, all of you guys are on Messenger. Are you guys have you added a bot to your Messenger so you order your Ubers through your Messenger? Anybody? Ooh. I'm going to be over here. So that's what's happening now, right? In LA, I order through my messenger. I still use the old school app sometimes too, but it says, oh, I need a ride, and it'll pop up and say, do you want me to order you an Uber? I need a pizza. Pizza Hut will pop up and say, I'm hungry. Do you want a Pizza Hut? So it's scanning everything you're saying, and it's adding in these things, and you can order them and buy things. For you guys in sports, this is important because if we just focus around ticketing, for example, it says, I want to go to a game. Or do you guys want to go to the game? Like you'll be having a conversation. Should we go to a game? And then it pops up and say, do you want to go to the LA Dodgers? Do you want to go see LA Galaxy? Or an Arsenal game? Yes. All the Chelsea fans are here like, shut up. The other thing that's happening as well too is that you're starting to see a messenger. They're trying to be like Snapchat. So you'll see on CNN, they've got this little round circle. This is like Snapchat's little icon. And it works like this. I look amazing. So you can see, so pensive. Oh, I'm going to kill my wife. What happens is that you click on your code, you go to your thing and say my code, it pops up with your code, but you see where it says scan code? So I click on it and I'm scanning the code from my phone, it locks in, and now I get all the updates in my new messenger feed from CNN. Every time there's an update or something like that, it's really important. So you can see here, it's not working that great. I typed in CNN Los Angeles. Based on what you asked for, here's a story I thought you might want to read. You can see the bottom there, CNN. You can scroll across. It's got like a table. This is a big deal because it's where purchases are going to start to happen. You can see here for Uber, you actually have to scroll down in your messenger to go to Uber bots. Because there's a guy, I guess his name's Uber from Germany. He must have a lot of friends. Because I had to scroll down to bots in business. The first guy that came up was like, I don't know what his name was. Uber, my name's Uber. I'm like, not you. But you can see here, I requested, they now have a little icon, I need a ride. See, I typed in need a ride, requested Uber. It all does is through that. Does that sort of help you understand bots a little bit? And then I can do the ride. Malahalo is arriving. I can see the ride. So this is what bots are going to be doing for us. They're going to be doing all this work for us. And yes, your phone is listening to you. Do not, through audio, yeah. The number of times I go on after I've been talking about something, I'm like, that's interesting. Tennis, I didn't really order a racket, but now it's appearing all over the place. So your phone is definitely listening. And it's right about here where people start to freak out, but it's, it's okay. All right, finally, as we wind down here, I want to talk about revenue generation because there's a lot of people that talk about Facebook. I can't make any money. Can't make any money on Facebook. Well, actually, you can now. Just about 3 weeks ago, they allowed you to do third-party. So you can do third-party advertising on your Facebook. And here's how it works. So it's called Facebook branded content. You need to be verified. So you need to have a verified account. And here's what you can do. So the following types of branded content integration are prohibited. Within videos, so you can't do pre-rolls, you can't do mid-rolls, you can't do post-rolls. Content that features third-party products, brands, or sponsors located at the beginning within the first 3 seconds or persistently over 5 seconds through the video. You get the idea, right? What people were doing is they're creating their own videos with all their branding on it and jamming up at Facebook, and Facebook was pulling them down. They're now saying, you can do that, just don't do it in the first 3 seconds. Allow people to get in. So Facebook's actually being a friend to us. The following type of branded content integrations are allowed. Promotions, videos of photos featuring third-party brands or products and sponsors that differ from the page. So if you're the Rugby World Cup and you've got Dove, and there's a lot of guys out there who want to be beautiful, then you can do a sponsorship with Dove. End cards, you can do product placement, you can do sponsors' logos. These were all not allowed, right? If you had too much of this before, Facebook would pull down posts and you'd have to deal with all sorts of issues. What does it look like? We currently do Melissa Fleming for the UNHCR, which is probably the worst Facebook page we have to deal with. Trust me, the Syrian crisis is very close to us because people ask, it's like life and death. But you can see at the bottom right there on the post, you can see the little handshake, right? So this means that I can now add a piece of sponsored content if I wanted to. What does it look like? Does this post feature third-party brand or content? If so, you must tag the associated page. So for example, I could do something with Doctors Without Borders. Right? So I could tag the page in there. Pages you tag in the post will be notified. They'll be able to view your posts and metrics, and you'll be able to create an ad. When you create the ad, if you promote this post, the tag page can see the ad spend and the CPM metrics, and they can boost it. So now you're a partner with your advertiser. You're not like, you know what, I'll get you the advertising later, we'll get you the breakdown. It's happening all in real time. You're working together. This is huge, right? We've got 3 clients testing it right now. It's a little wobbly, but it's going to be something big.